kids, welcome back to Roto Talk.
Hey kids, welcome back. So, happy Friday. It's been a long life. Anyway, long week. We're going to do a quick video today with the R4 build. Just a quick one because I'm tired, I'm old. It's Monday, Friday, whatever day it is. Anyway, I do have a correction to make. Uncle Joe corrected me about my unboxing video. I called the boom tubes fiberglass, and they are not. They are carbon, but they're just solid. And that's my fault, my mistake. I was whizzing through it, didn't think about it. So thank you, Uncle Joe, for pointing that out. They are solid carbon because, he says, fiberglass is too weak. Too much flex. It's not weak. It just has a lot of elasticity to it. So the first thing we're going to do with our R4 build, we're going to take our hatch out. Oh, it has decals. I forgot about that. See the decals for the windshield? Very cool. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the top. This is the top. Doesn't look like the top, but once you pop this out, oh, I'm going to lose all my bits. Sadness. Okay. So we're going to pop this out reasonably carefully. Okay. There. Put all these over here. We're just going to do some basic stuff today, so don't get too excited. Not that you ever do, but this is just going to be a quick video. I'm tired. I'm old. All right, so here's our nose. There's the front of the boat. This is the back of the boat. Okay? What you want to do here is you want to place this wherever you like. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up with the back. And we're going to make sure this is as reasonably square as we can. Now, people might poo-poo this, but I'm going to put a little bit of CA here. Now, if you don't want to do it this way, you can just use clamps. Perfectly fine to do it that way. Okay? Which most people would probably do, but I know I'm going to be sanding the hell out of this anyway. So, I'm going to put a dot there, a dot there. Nothing fancy. Okay. There is a rhyme to this. There's a reason for the madness. I got this a little bit off. That's okay. I'm not going to sweat it. Okay, like that. And I'm even going to put one here, one here, one here. You don't have to do it this way. If you just want to clamp it or however you want to do it, that's fine. But what you want to do before we epoxy this top piece onto the tub, you want to trace this out. That way, makes a lot less work later on. Okay? A little bit more. Okay. Not but a peanut. Who can tell me? Somebody asked me the other day, so why do you always say that? Nothing but a peanut. It's a really stupid saying, and it is. How many of you know, leave it in the comments, who is the guy who used to say that? I will be shocked if anybody gets that right. Be right back. So, I only have carpenter pencils out here and pens. Okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to flip this thing over, clamped or glued like I just did. And we're just going to make a trace line. Do this first. This is arbitrary, just silly stuff. Because we're going to sand this. Now, it's going to pop off real easy. Okay? Now, you have a nice outline of everything you need to take off this ABS cowl. Alright? We're going to leave this for now. We don't need that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of our sides. I should have prepped. I didn't prep. I just told the old lady, which she's not very old, but I just told Mama, smoking hot wife, I'm going to go out there and do a quick video. And I guess I'm just too used to this because I've been doing it for like 7 years. If you count quadcopters and all that crap. And I don't prep anything. I don't even edit out the bloopers. I should, but I don't. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our sides. All right? Now, you can think about it this way. There is no marking on it, but the engine mount is pointing down right there. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to put it there. And you have bulkhead 1. These are transom. Okay, and I always do my laser lines towards the back. You want the holes on the right hand side of this particular model. Okay, and then this should be 3. So there's 1, 2 is the motor mount, I believe, and then 3. Just like that. Now you'll notice, if you're backwards, it shouldn't line up so great. Alright? Now, if you want to make doubly sure, you can take your other piece. Look how calm I sound. I could be like a shrink. Alright? Look at that. Place precious in the bucket. Alright? So, motor mount pitching down. Just like that. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and realign these because I just screwed it all up. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our square. Hang on a second. Okay, apologies. So one thing you want to make sure of is you want your rudder bolts, holes, going to the right. Okay? So just so it's clear, this is the bottom of the boat right here. This is the top right there. Okay? Take our motor plate. We're going to do the exact same thing. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our square and just square these up. How important is this? You've seen a zillion of my builds before. Yes, it's important to a point, but CA glue isn't going to hold it like perfectly forever. You're still going to have some kick to it. We're going to be epoxying these. So it's kind of a moot point. I'm using the square that came with the kit, actually. Now, should I do that one like that? We'll leave that one out for now. We're going to CA this one in. Same thing. Now, the manual says, in this case, you can use wood glue Type Bond 3. From my other videos, Type Bond 3, you can usually get it at Lowe's or Menards, one of those Home Depot. It's called Type Bond 3. Type Bond 1 is normal. Type Bond 2 is water resistant. And Type Bond 3 is waterproof, supposedly. I have never tested that theory. We're back. Sorry about that. Just anybody out there that lives with 2 or more women, you have my condolences.
How do you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
I'm just kidding. So, now, what we're going to do, let's see, I think we'll not glue this one in, okay? So everybody's CA'd, everybody's reasonably squared up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our other side, dun, 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 okay, like this. We're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to put our motor mount in. Just like that. Now, some exciting news. It is, by the way, the next day. And my tug kit came. that we're going to put the gas engine in, so I'm super pumped about that. That is going to be we're going to do it on the channel, but it's not going to be a build video per se because it's going to be heavily modified. So all I'm doing, same principle, making sure all of our slots are lining up. Now notice it's squarish. Okay. We're going to be epoxying this whole thing. Instructions are a little bit different, but not a heck of a lot. Okay. Bada bing. Now, at this point, you could take the nose piece, wherever it may be, and slap that in. Now, again, I'm not sure if that's, let's see. Look, proof I use the manual once in a while. Yeah, they don't tell you to put the nose piece in yet, so we won't. But you could. Nose piece doesn't do anything, so hold the nose. Now, we have not epoxied anything. Now, the manual says to use, see that? Your bottom's going to straighten this out. Bottom only fits on one way, and there should be an overlap at the back. Okay? Slight overlap at the back. Alright. And if you do not have an overlap in the back, flip it over. You want to make sure everybody's in nice and tight. Now here we go. Then we're going to take some painter's tape. That's going to square this up the way this sets in there. Okay, we're going to take some painter's tape and we're going to tape this down. Let me find some. There it is. Sweet. Now, manual says to use rubber band. Go for it. This is different than how I usually do it. I usually do aluminum rails and 90-degree aluminum rails, and I set the tub in there to keep everything straight. But I'm going to basically, this is how the manual is saying to do it for the most part. I've always used the rail method, so that's how we're gonna try a new way. The rail method's kind of a pain in the butt, but it does work pretty well. Okay. Then make sure you're on a nice flat surface, which this does not. I need to sand this thing down. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 30-minute epoxy. You want to take some wax paper. We're going to go do that. We're going to get some wax paper, put it down there. We're going to take some 30-minute, and I'm also, that's okay. And we're going to put weights on it as well. Let's see. Where's my clean board? I have a board that has no crap on it that I can keep nice and flat. So let me go get some wax paper from Mama. Be right back.
People are strange when you're a stranger.
So what we're going to do now, make sure you've got no gappage on the bottoms there. I got a flat board. Now, my bench is pretty flat, but there might be little, I haven't sanded it down in a while. About once a month, I'll sand my whole bench down, just to get any bumps off, and then I reseal it. Because if you have, like, say, a glob of epoxy down there, and you weight your boat down, it can give it some twists. So I keep this board around that I always keep no goo on. All right. We're going to take some 30-minute, and we're just going to epoxy the crap out of everything. And we're also going to put in our transom doubler. Okay. But we need to epoxy that or glue it in first. Doesn't matter how you do it. So we'll put some clamps on that as well. Make sure your holes are going to the right. Make sure they align. And we're going to clamp the crap out of that. All right. So 30-minute epoxy all the way around. Whew, you're hired. All right. I do use 30 on this particular boat because the wood, on small riggers like this, because the wood is fairly thin and you need all the help you can get. Keep it from twisting, whatever. So we're just gonna goo it up. Okay. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this dude, T1, and glue it on the inside. Then use some heavy clamps. Alright, then, and I will probably just fast forward or skip this part. I just don't see the excitement in watching somebody put in epoxy. These brushes are so much nicer. My buddy, the guy that sent these to me out of my chat group, this was actually a hint, these brushes out of M5, Scotty over there in Washington. I don't know why I never thought of that. It's like, just use frickin' disposable paint brushes instead of those resin brushes. Suck. Hate them. Makes me mad when you don't think of shit. You've been doing it for 1,000 years and it's like, oh, why didn't I think of that before? So dumb. Okay? So I think I'm just going to skip by this, edit this out. Seen one idiot put glue on. You've seen it all. It's not hard. Just take your time. It's 30-minute. Plenty of time. If you think glue, epoxy needs to go there, do it. Try to keep it off the top. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some lightweight, and weight this down. So, be right back. They're all epoxied. I am going to go ahead and put in the nose. You'll see that the tabs are not perfectly symmetrical. So there is a right and wrong way to do this. And the only reason I'm putting in the nose, it should be flush, top and bottom. The only reason I'm putting in the nose right now is because I have extra epoxy. I think it calls this for the next step. It's alright. Not the end of the world. It pretty much stays by itself, but a little security. Okay, now, a couple tricks. Where the holes are for your boom tubes to go through, okay, what I recommend you do is really try to make the glue, the epoxy there, real thin right below them, because you're going to have to glue in supports there, and it's advantageous not to have a glob of goo right there. Okay, so our nose is in. Everything's got 30 weight on it. We'll put a couple weights. Nothing massive. This is just to make sure she stays. I don't like twist. That happened to me one time. Hate it. Do the twist. And that is it for the next 3 hours. We're good. All right. Family event to go to. It is Sunday, so I'm going to go do that. In case I didn't tell you, the wood skiff from the Netherlands kit is going to be here Monday. I am starting that thing as soon as I get it. Okay, that's going to be here because I talked to my mail guy. Whatever. We're doing this one, and we also need to finish the tunnel. We need to maiden the V-box, and we're going to do our ugly duckling gas tugboat that's probably going to burst into flames, but it's going to be cool when it does. So, let's make sure this transom doubler, we'll put another clamp on that piggy. Alright, so anyway, till next time, probably later today, keep dry side up. Bye.